Well, and in sports news, plans are underway to facilitate successful resumption of sports in the country after the Ministry of Sports released draft protocols meant to guide the resumption. Stakeholders, including Sports Federation, have been given 7 days to review and give suggestions on the draft resumption of sports protocols released by the ministry.
So now, do we follow these guidelines of the Ministry of Sport, as those are sporting activities? However, they're sporting activities that are being coached in schools. Or do we have to wait for the Ministry of Education to take these guidelines from the Ministry of Sports and then apply them in the Ministry of Education? So if you could give us some of those guidelines, then it would actually help in some of us who work with both adults and young people.
It was very, very important to get these stakeholder concerns, as you can already see concerns around testing and how to meet these testing costs, who can begin, who cannot begin. And it was very, very important to have the stakeholders' input. And so therefore, as the CS has indicated, once we get this feedback from stakeholders on the guidelines that have been provided, then clarity will be given as to when the sports organizations can begin their work. But also in the guidelines, as you shall go through, there are different stages of what can be done at what different levels, given the kind of sport that is there. So it is possible, and it has been very well captured in the guidelines, that it is possible to graduate certain sports and others will still take a little bit longer, given the directives from the Ministry of.
Now, even as protocols for the resumption of sports in Kenya are expected to be rolled out officially in the next 10 days, the Ministry of Sports, Culture and Heritage has given the Kenya Golf Union a green light to organize golf events in the country. This comes days after the European Tour set November 12th to 15th as new dates for the magical Kenya Open.
Golf is a non-contact sport and the risk is quite low compared to other sports. What was making us not make any move was that the ministry had not yet consulted or finalized the consultation with the Ministry of Health for us to give the guidelines, and I believe today we've done so, and I'm sure now